Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm your course instructor Sania Gilani and we are back with another lecture. This is lecture number 24 of literary studies and today's topic is Edwardian writers. So before we begin today's lecture, let's do a quick recap of what we covered in our last lecture. Last time we explored the context and the main themes of Edwardian literature. We saw how this period is often called a bridge between Victorian realism and modernist experimentation, capturing a world in transition. Some of the key points we discussed were Edwardian society that was rapidly changing with growing urbanization, industrialization, and shifts in class structure. We also talked about the role of women that was evolving, and writers increasingly portrayed women negotiating social expectations and personal freedom. There was also anxiety about empire and the British global dominance, as well as the moral questioning of authority and traditional roots in literature. Literature also reflected the tension between social realism, portraying everyday life, and early psychological and moral introspection, anticipating modernist experimentation. With that context in mind, today we will focus on the major writers, genres, and representative texts of Edwardian literature, exploring how they reflected and shaped the concerns of their time. So, imagine yourself walking through a London bookshop in 1910. On the shelves, you see novels exploring social mobility, plays critiquing politics and morality, short stories filled with irony, and poems celebrating or questioning the English countryside. None of these authors know that a world war is looming, yet their works already reveal a society feeling the pressure of change and uncertainty. Today, we will meet the voices of that world, the novelists, the dramatists, poets, and short story writers who gave shape to Edwardian anxieties and aspirations. The topic is Edwardian writers. It's quite similar to our current scenario, to be quite honest, when we are afraid of what can happen next. These people and their literature were reflecting the same anxieties. Edwardian period in literature roughly spans from 1880 to 1920, but the monarch on which this era is named survived, ruled from 1901 to 1910. So, strictly speaking, Edwardian era is from that time period. It is basically a bridge of confidence between Victorian realism and experimentation of modernism. Writers of this era were deeply aware of societal change, industrialization, urban growth, social mobility, women's emancipation, and the fragility of empire. The literature of this period is diverse. Some authors continued the realist tradition, depicting ordinary life with detail and social consciousness. Others experimented with psychological complexity, exploring inner conflicts and moral ambiguity. Drama became a forum for debate and satire, while poetry oscillated between pastoral simplicity and early modernist experimentation. In today's lecture, we will examine these authors, the works of this period, organized roughly in following sections. First, novelists, social realism and psychological exploration done by these novelists. Then we will see the dramatists, the modern theater of ideas and satire. Then we will look at the poets and short story writers, how traditions, experimentations, and social commentary was reflected in these media. By the end, you should see how Edwardian literature captures a society on the threshold of profound change. So, first, Edwardian novelists. Edwardian novelists basically explored themes of realism, psychology, and social critique. The novel was the dominant literary form of the Edwardian period, continuing the Victorian tradition of realism but with important innovations. First was Arnold Bennett, who focused on the lives of ordinary people in England's industrial Midlands. In novels such as The Old Wives' Tales and Clayhanger, he depicted everyday struggles, ambitions, and frustrations. Bennett's innovations were innovation was his insistence that ordinary life, family work, social pressures deserves literary attention. He captures the constraints and small triumphs of middle class existence. Next was John Galsworthy. John Galsworthy basically combined realism with social conscience. His monumental Forsyte saga portrays a family obsessed with property and social standing. Galsworthy's novels and plays like Justice critique legal system, class rigidity, and moral hypocrisy. Unlike Bennett, his work is overtly political, aiming to provoke reflection on society's structure. Let's talk about probably the most famous of this era, H.G. Wells. He represented the forward looking, imaginative side of Edwardian prose. While often classified as a science fiction writer, Wells used novels like Kipps and Tono Bungay to explore social mobility, capitalism, and the consequences of technological change. In his most famous The Time Machine and The War of the Worlds, he examined class imperialism and the fragility of human civilization, showing that Edwardian writers were already imagining future crises. Next is E.M. Forster, who bridged Edwardian realism and early modernism. His novels, including A Room with a View and Howard's End, explore the tension between social conventions and individual desires. He examines class, cultural misunderstanding, and moral ambiguity, emphasizing human connection with his famous maxim, only connect. E.M. Forster's work signals a literary shift towards psychological depth and social critique that would dominate the interwar period. Next is Joseph Conrad, who also influenced Edwardian literature, even if some of his major works were published slightly earlier. Heart of Darkness and Lord Jim probe morality, imperialism, and the instability of identity. Joseph Conrad's complex narrative techniques and the exploration of psychological tension foreshadow modernist experimentation. Next, let's talk about Edwardian drama, theatre of ideas and satire. Drama flourished during the Edwardian era as a space for social critique and intellectual debate. First name of the famous in this genre was George Bernard Shaw, who revolutionized the stage, replacing Victorian melodrama with plays that were sharp, witty, and politically charged. Works such as The Man and Superman, Major Barbara, and Pygmalion satirize class, marriage, religion, and moral pretension. Shaw's characters often embody competing ideologies, and the dialogue itself becomes a forum for argument. His theatre embodies the Edwardian impulse to question societal norms. The period also popularized the problem play, influenced by Ibsen, who where drama focuses on pressing social issues like poverty, gender inequality, and domestic injustice. Audiences were expected to think and debate rather than simply be entertained, marking a significant shift from Victorian conventions. Next, Edwardian poetry. The tradition innovation, and the calm before the storm. Poetry in this era shows both continuity with the past and anticipation of modernist experimentations. The Georgian poets, including Rupert Brooke, John Masfield, and Walter, celebrated nature, rural life, and emotional reflection. Their work is musical, often nostalgic, and portrays an England seemingly untouched by industrial or political anxiety. Brooks' early war sonnets, for example, emphasize patriotic idealism and youth, reflecting Edwardian optimism and innocence. A. E. Huysmans contributed elegies which talked about clarity and restraint in works. He focused on youth, mortality, and subtle emotional tension. While not overtly experimental, his precise style influenced later poets. At the same time, early modernist tendencies began to appear. Writers such as Ezra Pound, T.S. Eliot, and D.H. Lawrence experimented with imagery, free verse, and emotional intensity. These currents hint at the fragmentation, urban consciousness, and the psychological depth that will dominate post war literature. In Next in genres is short fiction and social observation. The Edwardian period also saw a flourishing of the social story, of the short story, particularly in magazines such as The Strand and The Yellow Book. Catherine Mansfield explored fleeting moments of emotional intensity and subtle social tension in stories like The Garden Party and Bliss. Her impressionistic style emphasizes consciousness and perception, anticipating modernist techniques, Somerset, uh, and expression. Edwardian society also talked about short fiction that became a room for experimentation, allowing writers to explore irony, psychological nuances, and social commentary in concentrated form. Next, let's briefly mention the key themes across all these genres. Across novel, drama, poetry, and short fiction, several recurring themes emerge. First is class and social mobility, in which characters confront rigid hierarchies, tensions between wealth and morality, and the struggle for advancement. Next is moral ambiguity. Unlike Victorian literature, clear moral lines are rare. Characters wrestle with personal desires, social expectations, and ethical uncertainties. Third is changing roles of women. Edwardian literature frequently portrayed women negotiating autonomy, education, merit, and marital expectation. Fourth, imperial anxiety. Many works critically examine the British Empire and its contradictions, often exposing ethical fallings behind patriotic rhetorics and depth. Next is psychological depth. A new emphasis on inner experiences, consciousness, and perception marked a shift towards modernist sensibilities. To conclude, Edwardian literature is a literature of transition. It retains the moral and social consciousness of Victorian realism while embracing psychological depth, moral ambiguity, and subtle experimentation. Novel captures social mobility and domestic pressures, drama interrogates moral and political issues, poetry balances nostalgia with early modernist impulses, and short fiction experiments with perception and irony. Together, these works present a society aware that old certainties are fading yet still cling to some aspects of the past. It is a literature anticipating ruptures, a calm before the storm of World War I, and the subsequent literary transformations of the post war period. Next week, we will move into post war literature, where the trauma of World War I transforms writing completely. We will explore how modernist writers like T.S. Eliot, Virginia Woolf, James Joyce, and W.H. Auden experiment with form, consciousness, and narrative to capture a fractured world, disillusioned yet striving to understand itself. Till then, Allah Hafiz. See you guys soon.